welcome back to the YouTube channel that's trying to be a TV show, but every time it tries, every time I turn on the camera, every time I set up, every time I sync the audio, it all fails. Very miserable. Before we get into the topic of conversation, I'd like to say that if you want to watch the video all about Ruby's journey so far, but the muted edition, well, we now have subtitles for that video. Plus, you still have the audio version if you don't want to have to read any subtitles. So, today, we're not doing a top 10, we're not doing a top 3. I don't like the word top anymore in these circumstances, so top 10, top 3, top 7, top 8, top 9. No. A, because it's you use it all the time and I might use it already in a video. And B, I might have already made this type of video and I want to make this completely different to what other videos come past and present. I've been doing YouTube for 10 years as of the 18th of January 2025, so I don't want to have to repeat everything I do. Today we're talking about my 3 favourite Classic Who stories, because I don't think I talk about Classic Who enough. So these are in no particular order, but technically they're in an order. So as we already know, my favourite Doctor of all time is number 10, played by David Tennant. The second favourite Doctor of all time is number 3, played by Jon Pertwee. And then my third favourite Doctor of all time, I don't think I've ever omitted this, and if I have, I'm gonna say it, Sylvester McCoy, right? He's added onto that list. If I've said it before, there will have been someone else on that list, but I've had to bump Sylvester McCoy because I realised when I was organising the research for this video, I realised that Sylvester McCoy is there because of Ace. It's all because of Ace. All because of Ace. So, let's get into it. So, number 1 we're going to get to at the end, and number 3 we'll get to at the beginning. None of these are in a particular order, they've just got slightly different memories for me, slightly different reasons. So I just thought, well, as I was writing them down, I wasn't really thinking them. When you write down a list, you can't really start from 3 on a list, so I just had to write down the first one kept in my head. So number 3, it was a tricky one, this, but I found that this is what I wanted, this is what I loved, and it had all the key details that made a fantastic Classic Who story. It is Remembrance of the Daleks. Yes, the Sylvester McCoy story, Remembrance of the Daleks. Because where else and why else would you not want to watch Ace, right? A companion that you loved watching wield a baseball bat and destroy things, was amazing at destroying the Daleks. And I just think that the concept of the story worked. I think the whole story as a whole worked really well. And I, personally, really liked it. And that's a good thing, that if I like it, well, it wouldn't be my 3 favourite if I didn't like it. So that's irrelevant. But I think that it worked really well. And it sort of did that thing that most Classic Who stories do, and it makes you hate to watch an omnibus edition, but love to watch it in its originally broadcast format. Because I would hate Remembrance of the Daleks if it was in an omnibus edition. I mean, updated special effects I wouldn't mind, but omnibus edition, no thank you. Same with the other 2 on this list. An omnibus edition wouldn't work. Thank you very much. Goodbye. And I think that the story in itself really works. So one of my favourite things in it, other than Ace destroying Daleks with a baseball bat, that I loved the behind the scenes for, when I first saw the story, I wasn't thinking about the behind the scenes. It was like the 100th time when I eventually stopped watching the story, but watched the behind the scenes on the DVD, might I add. And it's the fact that the soldiers were being flinged back into the war. And I always like that in TV and film because they're always attached to the wires. And, it's a safe activity to do. And at that point, visual effects, things done on the computer, are slowly but surely becoming a thing that exists. And the more you look into it, and the more you watch these behind the scenes of it, you just see how incredible it is, / it was. At number 2, we are making our way through this list. Sorry if this becomes short due to the fact that I'm going through this list quite quickly. I just don't know how long the viewers at this moment are on, because the usual thing where I look down and look at the audio recorder is facing the wrong way round, so I actually don't know how long I've been opening and closing my mouth for. We'll find out at some point. So number 2 is a really interesting story, because my memory of this story was when I first got the DVD. I spent days and days, and well, not days, I spent most of the days sat waiting at the front door for this to arrive. And it arrived at about tea time. I say about because I'm not too sure what time it arrived, but I definitely know I was eating tea whilst watching it in the lounge. And it is your friend of mine, Tomb of the Cybermen. Yes, so Tomb of the Cybermen is incredible. It's one of those Second Doctor, Patrick Troughton things that you watch and you go, wow. And you because it's one of... So my abiding memory of the story, the thing that really sounded in my head about it, so as we said about Remembrance of Daleks, it was Ace battering the Daleks with a baseball bat. A silver baseball bat, might I add. For the Second Doctor, Patrick Troughton, the Tomb of the Cybermen, it's when the Cybermen, Tomb of the Cybermen, sorry, when the Cybermen walk out of the pods that they're in, when the Cybermen appear, I know everyone's gonna say that. Some people are gonna make up that they've never seen the story, and will say that still. But I generally think that when the Cybermen turn up, because at that point it was mainly the Doctor and Jamie, and I think Polly having an argument with the organizer on that planet, and it just becomes a little, but then when the Cybermen turn up, it really alters their relationship together. So finally, at number 3, this is one that's no surprise to anyone that's seen my Doctor Who documentary, John, the Man Who Was Doctor Who. The reason why I emphasise the is because it's there, and I'm trying to make a Doctor Who collection box set sounding title. It is Spearhead from Space! Yes, I said it in that voice for a reason. Spearhead from Space is one of, not is, the best early classic Who story. I know I said there was no particular order, but if I had to order it, it would go Spearhead, Tomb of the Cybermen, and Remembrance of the Daleks. So Spearhead from Space, Tomb of the Cybermen, Remembrance of the Daleks. Spearhead from Space is good because it's one of those origin stories that they try and mimic in New Who. So when David Tennant first appears, he's asleep for most of the episode, right? And he's in this state. And then he eventually comes out of it and he's back to right. And I think that was inspired mainly from Spearhead from Space, I think. So I think having Spearhead from Space, having the Doctor fall out the TARDIS, forget what the TARDIS is due to the fact that he's now been exiled to Earth. He's been hanging around with the unit. And I just think involving unit from the get-go says John Pertwee's era is going to have a lot of unit involved because we've exiled him to Earth. You'll like it. And I think that just works quite well on that front. And I think the story also really does a good job at introducing the world of colour to Doctor Who, because beforehand, from William Hartnell to Patrick Troughton, it was all in black and white. And John Pertwee being the first Doctor in colour helps, because they've not gone over the top with colour, they've just done just the right amount with colour, and I think that what helped it work really well. So, there you have it. That's my 3 favourite Classic Who stories. Spearhead from Space, Tomb of Salmon, and finally, Remembrance of the Daleks. What is your 3 favourite Classic Who stories of all time? Might I add, when I say that, you can change your mind later on in the future. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below, or in the comment section wherever you're watching this video. Thank you guys for watching. Down below. Bye.
Don't forget to subscribe to the official Tom Mason YouTube channel.